invitation aimed at serving the Union. 1. Due to their terrorist acts. The group has been declared a terrorist group under the counter-terrorism law, according to recent information emerging on social media. Even their leaders have not formally recognized them, and the unlawfully formed CRPH and NUG, established for their interests, attempted to conceal their electoral misconduct and efforts to unlawfully seize state power, intending to continue to grasp the authority of the state illegitimately. As such, they shaped themselves as the elected government. CRPH and NUG have propagated the narrative that Tatmadaw, which assumed responsibility for all functions of the state under the constitution to hold a free and fair election, was dragging democracy backwards. Whether due to believing in the propaganda that was spread or based on the assumption that their own beliefs and convictions were correct, the armed groups, including PDFS, chose the path of armed struggle. 2. The shared aspiration of the government, people, Tatmadaw, ethnic armed organizations, and officially established political parties is to build a union based on democracy in a federal system. Likewise, the stated goal of the armed groups, including those operating under the name of PDF, who have chosen the path of armed struggle based on their beliefs and convictions, is also to establish a union founded on democracy in a federal system. 3. The State Administration Council has adopted the 5-point roadmap and has been making considerable progress in striving to hold a multi-party democratic general election. The government, and political parties that share the same aspirations and intend to participate in the election pathway now number 54 parties. The gateway to advancing toward a union based on democracy in a federal system is through a free and fair multi-party democratic general election. In such circumstances, if the path of armed struggle continues, it will not benefit the state, but will instead cause democracy to regress. The goal of establishing a union based on democracy in a federal system does not need to be lost or derailed, due to the interference and disruption caused by the CRPH and NUG's propaganda. Instead, they must continue to advance along the path aligned with their beliefs and aspirations. Once the election is held and halutos and governments are formed, CRPH and NUG's actions, which are fearful of losing their standing as an elected government, contradict their aspirations. Therefore, they must change course and move forward on the correct path. Because of the armed struggle, many young people have lost their lives, causing a loss of human resources, crucial for building the envisioned union. 4. Although efforts to resolve issues through armed struggle have lasted for over 70 years, they have yielded no results and have delayed the country's development. Learning from this lesson, armed groups, including those operating under the name PDF, have to recognize that because their regions lack stability and peace, and because their participation in armed struggle has caused harm and suffering to the socio-economic life of their family members and communities, they have to fully cooperate and participate in the election process. In doing so, along with reconsidering their approach of harming loss to the socio-economic life and supporting comprehensive development in areas such as education and healthcare under peaceful and stable conditions, will enable them to reach their desired goals. 5. They have to negotiate with the halato and the government that will emerge from the upcoming democratic general election to build a union based on democracy in a federal system, as well as to amend the constitution to align with a democratic and federal union. 6. Therefore, if the armed groups, including those operating under the name PDF, aspire to see the emergence of a union based on democracy in a federal system, and if they choose to legally establish themselves within the framework of the law and cooperate hand in hand with the government and Tatmadaw to serve the interests of the state and the regions, the government and Tatmadaw will welcome and accept this. Those who have such intentions are invited to contact and coordinate with the nearest military camps and regional authorities. Information Team, State Administration Council.